Hello, welcome to the room. Kaya, go get your food. It's downstairs. Y'all call Kaya. She can't hear you. Welcome to the live. We'll get started shortly. She can't hear you. You right. She just sitting here staring at me. Kaya, go eat. What do you mean? That's why she don't listen. Oh, welcome in the live, guys. We'll get started shortly. Welcome in. Welcome in. We'll get started shortly. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you have a pair that you wanna go over, drop it in the chart. Drop it in the chat. If you have any questions about day trading at all, drop them in the chat. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're gonna get started shortly. Hi Janet. Hi Ebony. Hello. Welcome in. Kaya is patiently waiting for me to give her something else. Is that you, babe? She must can smell you. She moved. She was over there, and then she came over here. Look at her.
Come on. Come on.
You gotta get her paw and walk her down.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Welcome in, welcome in. We'll get started shortly. Check the pin comment. How'd she get away? I think it's pinned. Welcome in, welcome in. If you have a pair that you want to go over or any questions, drop them in the chat. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, y'all. I was hungry. This is not my dinner time, and I ate late. You want to go over gold? We can go over gold. All right, guys, let's get started. Hi, I am Sierra, the Wealth Empress, your day trading credit and funding strategist. Today, we are going to go over the charts. So just let me know what chart you want to go over, and we'll mark it up, do a top-down analysis, and any questions that you have. So currently, I'm in UJ, but somebody asked for gold, so let's look at gold. This was our markup on gold, okay? But we'll delete it and mark it up again, okay? All right, so I do top-down analysis, and I trade ICT concepts with Romeo CRT zones. So I like to start on my monthly just to see if we're near a monthly high, a monthly low, or 50% of the last month's candle. And currently we're not. So now we're come down to the weekly. All right, and what I saw on the weekly, we had a fair value gap right here. So I was looking for price to come down to this fair value gap before I brought again, which would align with our CRT, because it would have to run this weekly low in order for me to buy it back up. Okay, so with CRT range, I'm gonna mark the low of last week's candle, and then I'm going to measure from the low to the high and mark 50% of the range. And then we will mark the high of the range, okay? All right, so this purple lines are fair value gaps, and then black lines is the range, okay? So we'll walk down to the daily, and we have a gap here on the daily that price has been, it's tested right here. You see that? It tested Wednesday on the 23rd, and it hasn't come back down to touch this area. It's kind of like playing around in this area because it hasn't given us a new high yet or a new low. All right, and I'm not going to mark that because that gap is at the same spot as my weekly low. All right, so now we can come down to the 4 hour, and then as you can see, we have this consolidation area here. We do have a gap here. And then we have a gap here that price is currently sitting in. See that? So price is currently sitting on this gap right here. It could pull back down to here and then continue higher. But now we also have a trend line. So you see price rejected here, and now it also rejected here. So now we have two valid points for a trend line. Hey Chris, how you doing? All right. Now we can come down to the hourly. I just want to tighten up my trend line. Okay, so this is our 4 hour, 50% of the gap. How much? How much did I start with my very first time? I think I put $1,000 in the account my very first time. But if it's your first time, start on demo. Don't put any money in a live account. All right, so this is our 50% of our 4 hour gap, and then we also have this hourly gap right here. All right, so there could be a possibility that price could bounce back up to this trend line from this 4 hour gap or this 1 hour gap. You just gotta wait on your confirmations. I'm not touching it until price gets down to my weekly fair value gap right here, because it'll play along with my CRT rows, right? So I want to see with the CRT trade, I want to see price run a low or a high, and this was last week's low, and then right underneath we got a weekly fair value gap. So I'm just waiting and letting price do whatever it's gonna do. Okay, I thought it was coming down, and then it decided it wanted to push back up, and see it came into this gap earlier, but I don't think it hit 50%. Nope, it came into the gap, then decided to want to trade lower and then trade back higher. Like, it's playing games. And it's also NFP week. So any trade that I take, I want extra confirmation. And right now, this just it's not doing it for me. This is gold. Okay? So I just want to wait for a price to come down to this weekly fair value gap. But if you just want a short term trade, let's see. this this short would have been a short term trade, and you didn't miss this entry. So when it rejected off of this trend line, it broke this structure right here and created that gap. And you see it came back into it, and then take it down to that 4 hour fair value gap. But I wouldn't touch it because it's just moving sideways. You see that? How it's not creating any highs or lows. I will wait for it to get down to this weekly fair value gap, and then we'll buy it. I mean, you say it's a clear sale, but like I said, it came down, but it didn't completely take out this area right here. It didn't take out this low, and then it brought back up, sold again, brought back up. Like, it's playing. It's playing. But you could definitely get some pips, but you missed the entry. That's my thing. The entry would have been here at this gap. You got to be careful with your entries. This is what it looks like on the 4 hour. So it's definitely coming into this gap. If it gets underneath this gap and retest it, then I would take it back down. but I'm not just hopping in the middle of a range. If it gets underneath 50% of this 4 hour, let it retest it, and then come out and sweep all these lows and grab this weekly fair value gap right here. This gap right here, that's 50%. The hour fair value gap to go up, and it could hit this hourly fair value gap and bounce back up. That's why I said I'm gonna wait, but I'm not touching it at all, period, until it gets down here. I'm not touching it until it gets down here. But I'm saying if you want to sell it, wait until it gets under this 4 hour and retest it. But it could hit this hourly fair value gap and go up, right? But it could respect this trend line and come right back down. The 5 minute, oh, here's a gap right here. All right, so we have 50% of this hourly gap, and price has come underneath it. Price left you a little gap right here. Let's watch reaction right there. And then you can take it down here to this 5 minute gap. I'm saying don't hold trades too long, right? Because it's in consolidation and we don't really know. We don't have clear direction. This would be the trade. Let's see what happens. Because price broke structure here. Got a structure area here, which led to that high, and then price just fell. Got something in my tooth, y'all. Well, let's go down to the 1 minute. All right, so we're not getting any rejection yet. We got a little trend line here. See that? Looks like it's reversing on the 45 minute. Y'all, it's in consolidation. That's the thing. Don't matter what it looked like, it's consolidated. It's moving sideways. You really want to trade trending markets. Trending markets is easier than consolidating markets. And just like that, disrespected the heck out of that gap. Do I think Nas is gonna drop? Let's wait and see what this is gonna do. Then we'll go to Nas. That was a big candle too. What time is it? It's 9:36. There isn't any red photo news tonight, but that's why I said it's NFP week. It's NFP week, guys. You need to have all your confirmations and triple and double check them during NFP week. Sienna, can you bring me a piece of floss? And just like that, it's invalid. Just like that. Why y'all talking about a clear sale? Like, leave it be. Leave it be. Let it move sideways. Let it do what it do. Let it come down here to this weekly fair value gap. Okay? When it hits this, then we looking for confirmations to buy it back up. Because that's our CRT play. Okay? Our weekly low. Our weekly low. Yep, NFP first move is fake. That spike up is just liquidity. Use that spike and that gap that it creates for your entry. But this is what we want to do. We want to be patient. It's just Monday. Okay? I don't care if it drops down to here. I want to wait so then I can take it back up to the highs. Forex Factory. How do you put stop loss and take profit? If you don't know how to put stop loss and take profit, you better not be trading no live account. You better be doing a demo. What broker are you on? All right, let's go over to Nas. What broker are you on? Just type in the name of your broker on YouTube and do trading tips. Exness. Are you on MetaTrader? Yeah. MetaTrader 4 or 5? 5? That's easy. Hold on. All right. We haven't gone over this UJ one, but I got in this UJ buy, okay? Can y'all see this? This is MetaTrader 5, right? To set stop loss and TP on MT5, you literally just click the position that you entered. You just tap it. And then it'll come up at the bottom, set stop loss and TP. And you literally can press TP and then a green line will come up and you'll slide it to your TP and then press that arrow and it'll set your TP. And you do the same thing for stop loss. You press stop loss, a red line will come up and then you slide it to your stop loss and press that arrow and then it'll close it for you. It's easy. I like MT5 just because it is easy and then you don't have to worry about calculating your risk. It'll do it for you. Okay, so somebody said Nas. So this is what we have for Nas. Nas ran this weekly high today, and then it dropped, and then it went back up. And it didn't even come, because I got in this trade, and I was looking for it to come to the 4-hour gap, and it did not do that. So it looked like it was creating a channel. And let's look at it. All right. So Nas did what it was supposed to do, right? It ran this high. Let's see, because it ran this high, and then price came back into this gap, and that's where I got in at, right? It did it beautifully, right? And I was looking for price to come down here to this gap on the 4-hour, but it decided that it wanted to trade back up, so I got stopped out in profit. And then I was like, okay, well, it looks like it's trying to create some kind of channel because we got our trend line here. There is the most annoying. There's a fly behind me. And like, really? Okay, y'all, it's annoying me. So it looks like it was trying to create some kind of channel, but now it looks like it's trying to push up out of here. So I don't know. So let me show y'all. Let me show y'all this with Nas, right? So with stocks like NAS, US 30, SPX, there's this thing called the seasonality chart, right? So although the president was speaking and he was talking about tariffs and all that stuff, and the market was dropping, the market normally drops at that time anyways, right? I want y'all to see the chart. Y'all see this? So the market normally pulls back in January, right? Spikes up some, pull back again in March, and then in March, it just shoots up until the end of the year. I trade ICT concepts with Romeo CRT zones. So this is just normal, right? So now it's April, and what is it doing? Like, doesn't that look similar to that chart? Where were we at? January. This is October, May 24, August. Let's find January. All right, so January we had our consolidation. February it gave us a pullback. March it gave us a pullback. It came and ran all these lows, came into this order block. Now it looks like it's pushing back up, right? Because Nas is mainly a bullish pair, right? You have those pullbacks, but it's mainly a bullish pair. It's falling out the sky. It's falling out the sky since he took office. It does this. It's normal. It's really normal, guys. It does this every year. And I can show you here on the chart. Let's go. This is July, May, April, January. We got this push up in January, pull back down in March, back to April. This is last year now. And then from April, it pushed back up. July, we got a pullback. Summertime come, everybody out in the streets pulling money, spending money. Then charts push back up. It does this every year, y'all. This is Nas. 16K was the bottom at the moment, right? Where was this at? 16K at the moment. Now, if he comes back and start talking about tariffs again, yeah, it's gonna drop. That's scarcity. That's all it is. It's just scarcity. Whatever he says negative that could affect them from making money, that's what causes those pullbacks. Nas looks like it wants to keep going higher. I see a gap here, some liquidity here. It's NFP week, y'all. We got liquidity here. This will be one of those moments to where I will wait for a break and retest outside of this weekly, or see we got a price balance range right here. A price balance range is when you have an inversion and a fair value gap in the same area. So I would see if price is going to pull back down here and see what it does. This will be my main area that I would be looking at. Right here. And you can always, we're only looking for one thing, a retest. Retest or a break and retest, right? I needed to come out and do that, or I needed to do this. Not this sideways. Okay? But this area is where I'll be looking at on the hourly, because this is a balanced price range. There's an inversion candle here and a fair value gap here. On the 4 hour here, you said 18,397 for here. Yep, it could. And there's a trend line right here too. So you get a little break and retest moment. That would be nice. That would be real nice, right? But I would still, so if price comes down here to this gap, I'm going to still trade it down. I just know where to get out at now. All right. So I'm watching this area right here for nines. Thanks for sharing the live. All right, y'all. I sent a signal on UJ. I'm not sure if y'all got in on it, but let's go over it real quick. So UJ has not ran a low or a high. Somebody was in here yesterday and they caught this short. Kudos to them. I'm not sure where she got in at, but this was nice. That was 168 pips. So I'm taking it back up. There's a weekly fair value gap up here, which is my ultimate TP if price is going to come up here, right? Because I still needed to run a high or a low for my CRT to be valid. But then again, there's a gap right here on the 4 hour. So this is where I'm going to be cautious at. So I'm going to set an alert right here. And I have two positions open. My first position, my TP is set. And my second position, I will move my my stop loss to entry, and then see if it can ride up there. I don't want this to be so long. All right. So I got in this buy because price came down here to this hourly fair value gap, and then it closed on top, and then I came down to the 5 minute, and I saw that it broke my structure here, and then price came back into my gap, and it continued higher. So I'm just trying to ride this up to this 4 hour fair value gap, and then possibly up to that weekly fair value gap. This is FXCM that I do my charts on. I trade on CoinEx. What's WSG? I don't know what that is. Joe, where you at? I don't use indicators, but I was just talking to somebody the other day about what were they? The moving averages. And I said I might add them back to my chart, the 20, the 50, and the 200. So let's see. Because those were some good, like, moving support and resistance, if you want to say. Wyckoff, you know what? Wyckoff is like the power of three, right? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It's basically the same thing as ICT. You don't have to manually mark off levels if you use VRVP. VRVP might not have my same level, so I use fair value gaps and order blocks. Thank you, Coriolis. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Okay, so what were we doing? The moving averages. So let's add the 20, the 50, and the 200. And let's see. You done? Did you wipe up any water? Go ahead and sweep the floor and wipe off the stove. There's still stuff on the counters. Go. You can still wipe it down. I think What is VRVP? Is it an indicator? I mean, my levels have been pretty accurate. Is it this? Oh gosh, what the heck is that? Is that it? Can NFB gold tag daily breakout? I thought we already discussed gold. I'm waiting. All I'm waiting on is price to sweep that weekly low and touch that weekly fair value gap. That's ugly. Was that the right VRVP? We're gonna add the 20. Can't you add three moving averages? Use the MACD. Um, Now the MACD was one that I did not like, to be honest. I couldn't figure it out. But I normally don't use any indicators. To be honest, I think these moving averages is the only thing that I'm open to using as far as an indicator. And I'm still possibly maybe iffy about that. I'm going to add them back. I used to use them when I first started trading. So I'll add them back for a week or two and let's see what happens. So I think this is probably 20, this is 50, this is 200. I used to like wait for the 20 and the 50 to cross and then TP would be at the 200 because that definitely did used to work. I like those being right here though because this is our 4 hour gap. So we'll see. Do I have any prop firms? I used to have Top Step, but I'm working on an affiliate with a newer prop firm. They gave me a code, but I want to try them out first. So give me a month, and I want to try them out and test them out before I recommend it. Then we got a turtle soup on Odd NZD. Let's do it. Y'all know that's what we love. I know it's up here. Here we go. See, this is what I was waiting on. We had a turtle soup, price came out, and then there was also a fair value gap. I didn't get in this trade, y'all. I just put this here the other day when we was marking up. So, yeah, I don't even like look these moving averages is messing up my chart. I got enough lines. So I was waiting for price to come to this gap here, and it did. It came outside the gap and then rejected, and then price opened up with this super bullish candle. And we were really far from the weekly. Okay, let's do the daily then. Let's do the daily. Let's delete that because here's our daily high. I know a guy that's all he trades is Monday's turtle soup. So he only trades Monday's candle. He lets Mondays play out and then he marks up all the weekly. I'm not sorry, not weekly. The Monday's candles, which is the high, the low, the 50%. And he just waits on Monday's turtle soup and that's it. He's the one who taught me CRT. And it's nice that there's a gap right here too. So we'll keep our eye out on all NZD soup. MAs are based on price. They are lagging indicators. Yeah, that's why I didn't have them on my chart. Once I learned how to read price action, which one, Bitcoin or what? We're on odd NZD. All right, so let's see. Is this another gap here? Okay, let's see what we got on the 4 hour. If price closes under this gap, and see, I would have to wait until it gets underneath this daily because I don't want it to hit the daily. That's happened to me before. where it'll close underneath the gap, it'll hit the daily, and it'll use the daily as a zone and then continue higher. This is odd NZD. Odd NZD. So we want to see it close underneath this gap and then come back into this area, creating some kind of displacement, which is a heavy bearish candle that'll leave us a gap, and then retest it, and then we can take it back down. This is it's only a 26 pip range, but 26 pips should be good. And it'll still give you a good risk to reward. There's another gap here. So I'm gonna set an alert here, and let's wait for it to come back in our daily. I buy and hold Bitcoin. I don't necessarily day trade it, but we can look at it. So what I saw the other day, somebody had me mark it up, is Bitcoin had just ran its monthly. We have a day left on this. So I'm marking my monthly high. All right, then we'll come back down to our weekly. Let's see. All right, so this is what we're doing. We're sitting right here at this area. We've been here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. 5 days. The thumb, my thumb. We've been here for 5 days on this monthly high, okay? Do we have any other areas up here? Bitcoin definitely just gave a nice bullish run with no pullbacks. So we could possibly be getting a pullback to go higher, because Bitcoin is another one of those. It's like indices. It's basically an uptrend. Do I trade these hours? We're not really trading. We're just marking up, looking for some entries. Well, I did get into UJ, but JPY is a Asia pair, so. But we're just marking up, setting some alerts. All right. So as you can see, the breaker structure isn't holding. Well, this would be our breaker structure right here. Okay. So this was our last low that took us to our last high. So you haven't gotten a breaker structure yet. This breaker structure right here this low left equal lows too. So I wouldn't sell it until it breaks this area and then take it into these gaps. But it's definitely consolidating right here. I leave it alone because it's on this monthly area. We got one more day. And then if you come down to the lower time frame, it's not leaving this area yet. It's Bitcoin. So wait for a break of structure to take it lower, or wait for price to get on top of the monthly high and retest it to take it higher. Okay. And then you got liquidity right here where your breaker structure will be. Bitcoin USD. Sienna, bring me a bottle of water, please. All right. If y'all didn't have another one, I never finished marking up. Yes, I did. I didn't finish marking up some of these pairs. We can mark up EuroCAD. Oh, the 4-hour candle. Okay, let's look at the 4-hour candle. I looked at the daily. Now, all NZD doing bring me a bottle of water. Doing a 4-hour candle, turtle suit. I don't know, because those are going to be some few pips. This 4-hour candle was 36 pips. So are you only looking to scalp, catch like 10, 15 pips? Because that's all you're going to get. On currency pairs, I would stick to the daily, the weekly, and the monthly turtle soups because you'll get more pips. Thank you. How do you get into this? Into trading? Next week, I'll be starting some live classes. I got to put the curriculum together. Just start tapping in. The candle is long, but you didn't see me just measure it. It's 36 pips, and you only going for 50%. That's not a lot of. That's not a lot of pips, unless you're gonna use a big lot size. Catch 10 pips. So it ran the high. Uh oh. It ran the high. It's definitely valid. It ran the high. Price came and broke structure. This is our lower time frame structure. Okay. This is structure because this is the last area that took us to our high. Okay. You had this little pullback here, but you needed to be inside of the range. And then price came back into the gap that broke structure perfectly. Now we're inside another gap and it's rejecting off of it. The stop loss could be here and TP here. It's 14 pips. Like, I mark up everything, but I don't trade everything. I mark up whatever gives me the best CRT move, right? Because some weeks pairs are consolidating, some week pairs are moving. So, what's up? You swept? All right, getting this up. Nas, we looked at Nas. 14 pips. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Like, if you want to take it, it's valid. If you want to take it, it's valid. But look at this though. You see that spread? That's stupid. It's only 3 pips, but now you enter, right? And your entry is down here, but then you put your stop loss up here, and then you get stopped out by spread. This is odd NZD. Show you the money. I think y'all missed my UJ trade. I posted it. I'm not getting in this though. It's only 14 pips, and the spread is 3 pips. Y'all can get into it and widen your stop loss to up here. It's still a 4-1 if you widen your stop loss. It's valid though. It is a valid turtle soup. It ran the high, it broke its structure, came back to the gap, and now it's making lower lows, right? So it's valid. It's definitely valid. Good eye, Chris. I just I don't take I wouldn't take a 4 hour CRT unless it's on Nas, SPX, or US 30. The currency ones, I would stick to the daily, the weekly, and the monthly CRTs. So let's see if we got a 4 hour. And I say that because, like, although this candle looks small, this is still 142 points. That's better to catch 50 points versus 13. All right, so we can mark up. This is our 4 hour CRT. Price hasn't come back into the range yet. I'll set an alert and we can come back and visit it when it comes back into the range and see if we can get a valid trade. Yet I give free signals. You guys were doing $100 to $1,000 account challenge. DM me free. I'm working on my link. I have to have somebody fix it. So I'm waiting on the guy to fix it because I sent it out to somebody and they said it wasn't connected. But DM me free as soon as it gets fixed. I'll send you the link. All right. So how many hours do we have in this 4 hour? We got 3 hours left in this 4 hours. A new 4 hour candle. All right. So we're gonna wait for price to come back into this zone, and then we can see if we can catch a Asia session 9. Okay. All right, Jeffrey. Thanks. What you confused about, Big? I missed that. What's my largest point gain? So when Trump, y'all, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say his name. I don't want that to mess anything up. So, yep, DM me here. So that day where Nas had his biggest day, I was taking my kids to do standardized testing because my kids are home testing. They're homeschooled. And so when they have to do standardized testing, they have to go to a site, right? And the day of all days, I wouldn't be on the chart because if I'm not home and I'm out distracted or whatever, I'm not gonna look. I get home and I was like, dang, I see everybody making all these gains. So one thing that y'all need to know, um, what goes up always comes down, right? You get an impulsive candle, you're gonna always get a correction. So I positioned myself for that next day and I caught that correction. I don't know how many points it was though, but that was my biggest account flip. $400 to $3,000 in a day. That was my biggest account flip. What site am I using for what? Do I use Streamlabs? Yeah, I use Streamlabs, and I normally can stream to TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. But TikTok created TikTok Studio, and now they want you to use TikTok Studio. So I'm trying to get permission to be able to use Streamlabs again. So until they accept it, I'm on TikTok Studio, and this is why we getting all these glitches because it's a new system. Whenever he talks, just sell basically. Whenever he says something negative, anyways, every time he say tariffs, yep, hit that sell button, and it's gonna drop. What site are you talking about? Trading View. So I didn't mark up EuroCAD yesterday, so let's mark that one up. What site am I using to mark up my trades? Trading View. Can I show you how to do setup for supply and demand for EU? So I don't really trade supply and demand, but supply and demand is simply order blocks, right? So I trade ICT concepts with Romeo CRT, so I can show you how to set that up. So like I was telling someone earlier, I like to do the weekly zones because you get more pips. Okay. But I also check my monthlies too because if price is near a monthly area, then you're more likely to either get consolidation or price may move away from that area quickly, right? So you want to see if you're near a monthly area, and we're not because our last monthly high was here. And we only got 1 day left in the month too, y'all. So all right, so I trade CRT zone. CRT stands for candle range theory, and it's basically just every candle trades back into the next, right? And if it doesn't, then you get these gaps if it doesn't fully trade back. But normally you'll get price will come 50% into the candle, if not fully into the candle, right? So that's all we're trying to do is catch that reversal back into the candle. What is this? Can I take that off? I don't know how they talking about some inactivity. It's 87 of y'all. Hi guys, thank y'all for joining me. y'all weren't here for the introduction. So if you're new, I am Sierra the Wealth Empress. I day trade, I repair credit, and I help you get funding for your credit account. So if you need for your trading account. So if you need some funding and you think your credit is in position, go ahead and hit the link in the bio and we can get you started. If you need credit repair, hit the link in the bio so that we can get your credit up so that we can get you some money to get into these live accounts, okay? All right, so what I'm doing is marking up my CRT range. All we do is mark up the high, 50%, and the low. And then we want to just wait for price to run either our high or our low and then come back into the range. Okay, so price hasn't ran our low. It consolidated. Looks like it's trying to push up on EuroCAD. So I don't see anything on there. And we're just going to go through all of these pairs and check our zones, okay? All right, so EJ, we was in EJ yesterday and we got stopped out. So we're down 20 pips for the week. Price came down here to this gap and it left us with this pin bar candle telling us that it was going to buy, and then it decided to continue to just fall. So now what I want to see is price get back on top of this gap because we have clear liquidity right here. Y'all see that? Equal highs. We have clear liquidity right here. So I still want to buy it, but I want price to get on top of this hourly gap and let me know that it's ready to buy. Okay, once it gets on top of that gap, then I will get back in. All right, UJ. UJ is playing us right now. I got into a buy on UJ because it decided to close on top of this hourly fair value gap. And then I came down to the 5 minute. I guess TP should have probably been there. I came down to the 5 minute and it broke our minor structure. It broke our minor structure and retested it. It retested it twice and then decided to come higher. We caught a cool 28 pips. I'm still in. I'm gonna hold it if it hit and just wait to see if it's gonna hit my stop loss or something. I'm pretty. Thank you. Can you show me to do? Okay, that's what we're doing. We're on UJ right now. Oh, I forgot I was supposed to be going over EU for somebody. I got distracted. I'm sorry. All right. So we marked up our high and our 50% and our low. And I just want to wait for my low to be ran or a high to be ran. I see a fair value gap down here that will take us higher, but it looks like the dollar is dropping. So we need to analyze the dollar. But supply and demand, let's see. This down candle before this up move would be a supply zone. And it's an order block also, right? So you will wait for price to come back to 50% of this area and then take it up. Okay? What time frame do I mark up CRT? On currency pairs, I like to use this is EU. On currency pairs, I like to use my weekly. Okay? And then a demand zone, this would be a demand zone right here. This up candle before this down move, right? But I don't really use supply and demand. I prefer fair value gaps, inversion fair value gaps, order blocks, and breaker blocks. Okay, and then I really prefer basically just fair value gaps and inversion over order blocks and breaker blocks. All right, gold, we went over gold, but I can show you what we went over. It's in consolidation. You see this? We had this was our last high, right? And this was our last low. Price hasn't broken this high and price hasn't broken this low. It's just moving in this little area right here. Now, we was watching it, and where did the area go? Here. We was watching it, trying to see if it was going to reject here, and it looks like it came above our area. It ran this liquidity and then decided to move down, but it's still not completely just moving straight down, right? Because right here is our 4-hour fair value gap. Right there. And price is still kind of playing around. It ran this liquidity. Let's see if it decides to go back down from this gap right here. And while we're doing that, I'm going to see what y'all saying in the comments. Is that an extended? What is this right here? I can't see. Is that an extended? What's an extended turtle soup? Chris, we'll look at GBP CAD. I'm not buying it. Oh, when I do buy it, right here on this weekly, I'm not touching it until it gets here. Right here, right? So this would be valid with our weekly CRT to run this low and it'll hit this weekly fair value gap. If it hits this weekly fair value gap and comes back in this range, heck yeah, I'm buying. Do you get the paper money or are you just practicing? I trade live, but we're not in a trade right now. We're just marking up. Well, I am in UJ. How can I be more accurate with identifying? How can you be more accurate with identifying buy side and sell side? That's a good question. Maybe. That's a good question. So, when I'm looking for buy side and sell side liquidity, I'm looking for equal highs and equal lows. And right here, you see that? You see how when they're perfectly equal, it's got to get ran. And you see that right there? That's liquidity. That's liquidity. Okay? It's just waiting on your confirmations. And we had a confirmation right here in this gap to take it back up there. And I thought it was going to swing that high. And then price was like, nope. But this is why you keep your stop losses tight. I'm telling y'all, if somebody has 50 pip stop losses, don't do it. You got this gap right here. Your entry always wants to be near the gap. And you always want your stop loss at the bottom of the candle. This was a 23 pip stop loss, but I had 20 pips. This is a 20 pip stop loss. Did I enter this trade earlier? I did, and I got stopped out. So now I'm waiting for price to get back on top of this gap, which would be a better trade. And then I'll take it up here. Right? So then my entry would be here, and my TP would be here, and my stop loss would be here, below the gap. And it's a 4-to-1. Yeah, JPY, we're gonna go over to the yen and we're gonna see what's going on with it. Let's go to GBP CAD. Look at external liquidity. Sheesh. And look at that. That's why I was like, I know it's got to come back up. And then I think UJ, there's a weekly fair value gap up here too. So I want to go over to we're gonna go over to the yen chart and we're gonna see what's going on with it. But let's look at somebody asked for GBP CAD real quick. What time frame you looking at, Chris? Let's see if I even got it over here. Here it is. What is going on? This Stupid thing. Uh, 4 hour. The 4 hour. Okay. So on the 4 hour, we broke on top of this trend line, and I want to fix that because I don't like that. Look. We broke on trend line, and it broke out of this wedge. It ran this liquidity, and now I see some more liquidity up here too. You see that? Well, you can't say it's a turtle soup until it comes back into the range, right? Or you saying the 4 hour, this little tiny 4 hour candle, I hope you're not trying to turtle soup that. This little tiny candle. This is our weekly range. That's why I said on currency pairs, stick to the higher time frame ranges. You'll get more pips, right? But this might not be a turtle soup because price has moved up. It's broken out of side of our trend line. This is looking like a break and retest. And then we have liquidity right here. So this might not reverse. I would wait for price to come back into this gap. See what happens here or up in this area because there's another gap right here, and then take it higher. Because if you can see, we got a little channel here, right? Price is making a low, a high, a low, a high. So it's kind of moving sideways to the upside. 8 o'clock, 8 Central Standard Time. We just started. We got a little while. Okay? So I wait on this, but this isn't a turtle soup. It's not a turtle soup until the price comes back in here, and then I'd say wait until it get underneath this gap. I mean, underneath this trend line, and then you could take it back down to this trend line. Price respecting the trend line on gold. Okay? And then with liquidity right there and the way that price is moving to the upside, I wouldn't be trying to sell it. This is GBP CAD. This is in a turtle soup. So that's not a turtle soup. This is our last 4 hour candle. And in order for it to be a turtle soup, right, a valid turtle soup, price would have had to come back inside. Did it hit 50%? And it didn't even hit 50%. Advice for complete beginners, stay in demo until you can complete 100 trades. 100 trades that hit your take profit. All right. So that's not a valid turtle soup, Chris. And then you don't want to trade these baby candles. Stop trying to. What is this? There's 20 pips on that candle. Stick to the higher time frames. You only want to do the 4 hour on NAS, US 30, possibly gold, because gold gives you a lot of pips. This candle, so this candle wouldn't be a valid turtle soup, right? Because this would have had to been the candle that gave you the turtle soup. Okay? You long? I'm long on RCHF too, but I don't think it gave me my entry yet. We'll have to go look at that. Okay? So in order for it to be a valid 4 hour turtle soup, the candle after it has to give you what you need to see. What's the difference between buy and sell? Buy, you're going up, and sell, you're going down. So what was we supposed to look at? All CHF and the yen. Somebody say go look at gold real quick. Let's see. Did it respect it? It did. It respected that gap. I'm not touching it though. I'm not touching it. I don't care what it's doing internally. I'm waiting until it comes down to this weekly gap and run that weekly low. All right, let's look at the yen real quick so we can see what's going on with these JPY pairs. I'm gonna remark it up. All right, we're far from a monthly area. So right now it looks like it's an inside candle, right? It came to this gap right here last week, and it looks like it's trying to push up. Our CRT range hasn't been validated yet on the yen. I think UJ might be my favorite currency pair. It's been good to me the last couple of weeks. All right, so here's our range right now on the yen. Ooh, we got liquidity right there. Y'all see that? Right there. Price gave us our consolidation, and then it gave us our expansion move right into a gap right here on the hour. It hasn't even hit it yet, though. Mm. Let's see on the 4 hour. What is equal highs, equal lows, and consolidation is liquidity. There's a lot of female traders. There are a lot of them. EJ gives pretty candles. What did y'all say about GJ? You selling gold? Go ahead. So the yen was in an uptrend. I'm trying to see, is this our last low? We got here, here, here. So we have some breaking structure here, and then a structure point here. So price broke this structure and it came underneath this inversion. It retested it and then it retested this gap here too. And it came down to that gap that was on the higher time frame. So I'm not sure if the yen is trying to push back up or if it's just retesting an area to come back lower. I do top down analysis, so I look at all the time frames. And like here, we're getting some lows, lower highs, lows. Our last little lower high area was broken. If price holds up on this area right here, comes back to this gap and then continue higher, then the buys on those JPYs is going to be on UJ and GJ is going to be invalid because if the yen is buying, then the dollar has to be selling on UJ. Let's see what happens right there. Let's see what happens in that gap. Gold. We already said gold is in a sell. Is in consolidation. We're waiting on. Is this a real account? Like me? Am I real? You're looking at me. We're waiting on gold to come back to that weekly. That's what I'm waiting on personally. I'm waiting on my weekly CRT. I'm waiting on last week's low to get ran and then gold to hit that weekly fair value gap. You fresh? Okay. Okay. All right. Somebody said odd CHF. Ooh, the odd cat. What is odd cat doing? Is this a weekly? Odd cat ran our weekly. It ran our weekly high. Okay, we might be getting a valid turtle soup here. We'll wait for price to break this area. I'm gonna pull this up and then let's see what we got on odd CHF real quick. Wait, Joe, can you bring me some tissue? Did we never finish marking this up? Ooh, we did. Okay, so odd for me, it hasn't given me any. Oh, we're back on top of our gap. Okay, cool. We're back on top of our gap, but I see a little trend line right here. I can't trust it until it breaks it. Till it breaks that trend line and then retest this inversion, then I'll get in. Because I definitely want it to come up here because we got this weekly fair value gap right here. And I was looking for that buy, but I got in too early and I got stopped out at break even. Gold three. Oh, you know what? I never looked at a 3 hour CRT, but every candle range is valid. So that's a good one. For sure, for sure. Gonna look for these buys on all CHF, but I definitely gotta wait because I already got stopped out at break even. So prices on top of this hourly fair value gap here is both of these. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So we got on top of this hourly fair value gap, but we got this trend line here. I want to see price break this trend line and then come back and retest this 4 hour inversion, which is right on top of that trend line. This is odd CHF. That's gonna be perfect. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So I want to see it break it, retest that. Then we'll take it up to the weekly highs, and then we want to wait on confirmation. When I do two TPs, I do two positions. So manage your risk between two positions, and TP1 to be here. And then once you get to TP1, that second position, move your stop loss to entry and let it play out and see if it's going to break this weekly high and retest it and then come up here to this weekly gap. Okay? That's a good one to watch. I'm gonna move that one to the top. So that's odd CHF. Wait, tell us what's this? It's odd CHF. Odd CHF. We want to wait on a trend line break and retest. So you want to wait on this trend line to be broken, and then you want to wait for price to come back and retest this inversion fair value gap right here. This is trading view. I think I saw the rest of them. Nas. What did we say about Nas? We was waiting on a CRT, a 4-hour CRT play. We got our alert set right here, and it looks like it just ran that liquidity. So now we're just waiting for it to come down. That's if it decides it's going to. Okay. I can't give like long term unless price runs like does a weekly CRT or a daily play. And it almost hit 50% on that daily, but not quite. So with Nas, I like to stick to the 4-hour or the hourly CRT zones. Just depends on how big the candle is. What time frame? As far as CRT zones or what? Because I do top down analysis, so I start at the monthly and I'll go all the way down to the minute, 3 minute, and 5 minute for entries. But I like to use the higher time frame zones. This was Nas. Okay, so odd cat is what we're looking at though, and let's see. Because odd cat ran our weekly high right here. This gap is from something. What is that line from? Okay, that line is for a daily fair value gap. So it ran our weekly high. I'm just trying to see if we're going to get a valid weekly CRT move on odd cat. So it looks like it's breaking our structure right now. If price holds up and break our structure, then we want to look for price to pull back into here for entries for ourselves. Can I teach you how to trade? That's what we're doing here on live. If you want one-on-one teaching, there's a link in my bio. I'm gonna get a curriculum together though, and next week we'll start doing some live teaching, and we'll start at beginner basics. But for this week, we're just gonna be doing our markups and looking for entries. This is OddCAD. This is OddCAD. All right, so we got one confirmation for OddCAD. UJ's moving back up. Gold is a mess. It's moving down though, but it's a mess. I'm not trading that. An alert went off on Nas, but it's not back in our zone. What alert did I have? I think I got two Nas charts on here. I do. All right, Nas came back into our CRT range. Ooh, I want the line going. 10:43. This would be the next structure point that I want broken. But this was our original um, minor structure broken right here. So let's see if price come back up here. I am going to. I'm not live trading this. This doggone account is at $3 million. I wish it was live. It'll my live account will be at the millions soon. All right, so let's see if price can pull back up here. If price pulls back up here, then I'm gonna take it because it'll be a valid CRT move. It's moving though. It's pushing. It might not even move back up. Oh. Okay. It's coming into a gap. Let's see if this gap pushes it back up. Look at that candle. Let's see if it'll pull back. Yeah, it is. It is difficult at first, but I think learning the charts has become the easy part, right? What's difficult is mastering yourself, right? Your patience, waiting on your confirmations, and not over leveraging. That's really the difficult part. Learning how to read the chart is actually the easy part. I'm in Texas. ICT concepts with Romeo CRT zones. This is candle range theory. This is a 4 hour candle range theory play if price decides to pull back. You never trade. It's not gonna pull back, y'all. Nah, y'all see that channel? Yeah, it don't look like it want to pull back. it's it's moving. And see, this right here is where you have to be disciplined and like, well, dang, it's playing out, but it's playing out without me. Well, guess I missed it. You can't see Muhammad. This is why I need to get back on Streamlabs because TikTok Studio. You see, yep, attempted to chase it. That's what we don't want to do. You fighting Casey? What about tomorrow, Bobby? I'm sorry, y'all. My parents texting me. Can't see what I'm trading. This is Nas. We're not in a trade, and the trade that I do have set up is for demo. Yep, we're on the 1 minute. We're trying to see if we're gonna get a pullback. It's 9:49. When that 10 o'clock candle open, we should get a pullback. A sell. You got in early. Yep, go to 50%. I'm glad you got in. Hey, Jonah, you're interested in learning how to trade? Just stay tapped in. We'll be here at 8 o'clock every day this week, marking up our chart. Start next week, we will do some beginner lessons. Do I trade gold? So we was looking at gold. If you go look at the weekly, there's a fair value gap right there. I'm just waiting on price to come to that weekly fair value gap. This price is in a be extra cautious. Joe, never mind. Don't really work. It's kind of cold. I think the temperature dropping outside. It's 9:52. Y'all, TikTok Studio has beef with me bad. I need to get Joe, come here. Come on, take this downstairs. Grab the cup. Y'all, TikTok Studio got beef with me bad. It just, cause it just cut off. Like I did not cut it off. It just disconnected. Somebody need to take her out to go to the bathroom. Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. I did nothing to it. On the upside, we might be getting an entry on odd CHF. Odd CAD, odd CAD. Yeah, it just cut off in the middle. Hey guys, we got knocked off of live for some reason. We was waiting on a pullback on Nas, which still hasn't happened yet. And then we're waiting on this pullback on odd CAD. Why haven't y'all taken her out to use the bathroom yet? But y'all need to take her out. All right, so I'm looking for entries either within this area or this area to take this back down. This is CAD. Hey Jacoya, girl, why did it just it just cut off? I'm sorry, y'all. It wasn't me. And we still watching Nas, y'all. We still watching Nas. I want to send an alert real quick on OddCat. Welcome back. Why isn't this moving? It's starting to frustrate me now. All right, let's see what happens. See if we can get this CRT move on Nas. Then I think certain times of the day my internet wants to act up. I think I need to get them people out here. Then I think my boyfriend might be streaming too. Internet, it's this stupid TikTok studio. Let me not say that. It might cut off on me again. I'm gonna delete this sell limit though because I don't think it's gonna come back that high. I want to see if it's gonna sell from here. But let's go back to the 4 hour real quick. Y'all see we in like this little channel. So this just might have been a pullback to get up here to this trend line. So we definitely want to wait to see what happens at this gap. Second line. There we go. Well, we were trying to catch the CRT so to be bullish. I'm sorry, bearish. But we're also being cautious because it is in this channel, right? You see that channel, right? You see that? And it could just be pulling back to go higher to this trend line. So we're going to see what happens right here around this 5 minute gap. TikTok Studio just cut off on me without any type of warning. So what are y'all up to? I don't think we're going to be able to be on here much longer because this thing keeps. Hey guys, welcome back. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I think you told us that, baby, that you got that buy entry there. Hopefully, that's what we want. We just need it to come down to 50%. That's all. Which should be near your buy entry. I think it wants me to go to bed. We're gonna do live New York session. Live New York session tomorrow. Uh, I have to always double think. I've been in Texas for almost 2 years now, so I still have to think about times like as far as New York session. So it's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's 8:30 my time. So we'll come at 8 o'clock and mark up Nas. Do I hold overnight? I wouldn't hold a Nas trade overnight unless I'm just for sure. But I'll hold currency pairs. Yeah. Oh, I'm not taking this Nas trade live. This is just demo. I'm in a buy on UJ to that 4 hour fair value gap, and then I'll be waiting on break and retest on odd CHF. So I have my alert set on that, and then we possibly got a CRT move here on odd CAD. That's what I'm waiting on right here. So price ran our weekly high. I don't know what this purple line is. Yeah. Price ran last week's high, and then it came underneath and broke our structure. Okay. This was our last structure because it took us to our last high. So price broke our structure, and then it gave us a gap right here on the 5 minute. So I'm watching for an entry on a sell either here or here. So I'm being cautious. And then I'm going to take that down to 50% of the zone. Nice little 30 something pips. There's no reason it should trend higher. Can y'all hear that? I'm sorry it cut off on y'all. I don't know. It's saying live. It keeps saying live disconnected. I have all of my bars for my internet. Like, I don't know what's going on. It started moving off a height. I mean, it could move higher because it's in that little channel. Yeah, it's a notification. Did y'all take Kaya out? She downstairs? So if you go back to this 4 hour, you see this little channel that it's in, right? So it could move higher and touch this trend line. But I'm just banking on this CRT play. So I said we're going to wait and see what we get at this gap. If price gets on top of the gap, then for sure take it higher to the top of that trend line. Oh, what just happened? You okay? You can't be running up the stairs with socks on. The phone definitely did not make it. That just scared me. You almost fell, right? You can't see the screen? Can anybody else not see the screen? Hey, come on. I wonder if I can make it bigger. How can I take me off? Because I don't really care to be on screen. I don't know what that just did. If I delete me, oh, it won't let me delete the camera. Why is there two of these? You can see Nas pulled back. Yep. Well, I say that 10-hour candle, that next hourly candle is gonna do it. We're looking at this one. I'm flipping back and forth because I don't want to miss this. Thought I had my alert set. All right, we hit our. Is this the same chart? See, this is what I don't like. These different charts. Price is rejecting it, whatever this area is. Oh, this is our weekly high on this one. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. That's still not what I want. Price retested our weekly high. That might be a good sign for a fall. Let's do that blue. So price came back into our gap. and it's back on. This is our weekly high, so it's back on top on this one. This one I don't like about the different charts. I thought this was an Owanda Nas chart, and I think I rather want to go with the futures chart over this FX chart. So let's mark up this futures chart. Futures charts are normally better. So we hit this. We're right at this weekly high, and then we was looking at our 4-hour CRT range. I like this candle because it broke that low. And according to this, we're underneath. I'm going to sell it. Y'all remember this is my demo. You gave up on what? Oh, gold. Yeah, I don't know. I told y'all I'm not touching gold. I am not touching it until it gets down to that weekly low. All right, so this area was our weekly high. Price came back under it and retested it and came back into this gap. It didn't give us a full 50% though. Uh-oh. It's Nas. It's Nas 4-hour CRT. And with it retesting this weekly, now, and this gap right here, is there a gap right here on the hourly? This is my only thing. This gap right here on the hourly. And the fact that we had that range on the 4 hours. So let's mark that back up. Because it could hit this instead of coming to the 50% and then bounce back up because it didn't hit that trend line all the way. See how close it came to that trend line? We're looking at Nas. Short it all the way back down to 17K. Possibly. Just got to take it one step at a time. All right, so I'm going to move my TP up here and set it to the 50% because this is an hourly fair value gap. And then there's a 5-minute gap right here too, right? Because I don't want it to come to this area and run all this liquidity right here, hit this gap, and then push back up. My trend line looked like trash on this time frame. What really happened? There we go. See what it look like down there. Thanks, ASAP. I guess everybody else went back to bed. Went to bed. I promise I didn't cut it off on y'all. We got 1 minute left in this 5-minute candle. Where am I from? Illinois. Um, I grew up there for a little while, and then Georgia, and then California, and then Texas. I'm in Texas right now. This should have been the candle to enter on. Now look at that moving all slow. Leah, what's that? I'm in Dallas. I'm in Dallas area, but you know what? Houston look lit. Cause Houston got all the seafood spots. I haven't taken a trip there yet because I don't have anybody to see or nobody want to go. I think I'm gonna just end up going by myself and just go to some of those seafood restaurants. When you moving, I'm gonna come visit you. Where you at now? Are you somewhere else in Texas? Oh, you in Atlanta? That's where I came from. Girl, I've been there 1,000 times. I'll be back there in a couple weeks gonna take my kids to their daddy for the summer. Sure will be. May 17th. Because I think it's time for my break. Not I think, I know it's time for my break. I've been so irritated. Why my son got mad at me today? Because I wouldn't let them go to the park. It was about to get dark. Like, you mad because I'm not about to let you get kidnapped? Like, you can't just be outside playing in the dark. Who does that? So that's why he was washing dishes and stuff because he got attitude. Start smacking his lips and stuff at his feet. I'm like, no, you talking to? Look at that. Price better not come back up to this gap. And I got my stop loss right on that gap. If it hit, that's why we in demo. Thought it was your mom on charts. Cause listen, I kind of want to move it up because this gap right here, and see if it rejects from that gap. But we are in. I'm in on demo, y'all. I'm in on demo. We'll come back and we'll live trade tomorrow. We'll live trade New York. Did she did she go to the bathroom? Good job, Kaya. What she do? What she want? She want something? Oh, so it's like you not about to get no food. It's bedtime. It's bedtime, Kaya. Why you barking at that girl? We'll be here at 8 tomorrow. 8 Central Standard Time, so it'll be 9 your time. This is Sienna. They can't see you. This is Josiah.
Don't follow me.
Oh,
Don't just follow her.
you didn't even tell. And this is Kaya.
I guess you want to be in the front.
Hi, Kaya. Y'all, nobody told me about getting a dog. How they are they're just another child. Like trying to potty train her So we started off using potty pads, and now we're trying to get her outside, and it has been a headache. I told Sienna, I was like, yeah, now you see how it is to be a mama. So I'm like, you need to wake up at 6 o'clock. She be ready to go out to go to the bathroom. Do I teach trading? Yeah, we're here 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then tomorrow we'll be here live trading at 8 a.m. And then this stupid fly.
It said what happened.
What happened? It just cut off. It just cut off on us. It just cut off on us. Price rejected this high, and now it looks like it wants to pull back even further. So remember, this is on demo, y'all, because we are looking at you hungry. It's bedtime. Did you not eat dinner?
I did.
Well, you better go get a snack. There's some more pears down there that y'all need to eat. But y'all need to eat it. I'll go to the store tomorrow. You don't like pears? There's some strawberries in the freezer.
Oh, I thought you were about to say the fridge. I was about to say where?
They're in the freezer. And some bananas.
Yeah. You see it. You see it.
There's some bananas in the freezer too. Well, eat popcorn.
Have you got a galaxy yet?
I did yesterday, and I didn't even realize it until I went back.
How?
I don't know, because I don't even think I can see them. This stupid fly. Bring me the Windex so I can kill this fly. There's a big thing of Windex. Did y'all throw the container away?
Why does your chat like go down and then come back up?
What am I supposed to do with this without the spray bottle?
I don't know. I don't know.
So I buy stuff from Sam's, right? And we got this big jug of Windex, but we had the small spray bottle and, refill it, right? Well, somebody must have threw the spray bottle away. So now I got to buy a whole nother spray bottle. That's dumb.
Yellow Cornels, I did them. Wait, no, not that hand. The other hand.
I know, my nail broke.
Her nail.
You see I split it?
Yeah.
I had to.
Oh, yeah.
It lifted, but remember it lifted last week too. So I was like, let me just break it. On NZD,
Oh,
what's going on? Where is it at?
That all wrong. I was going to pronounce that all the way wrong.
I was waiting on Odd Cat because Odd Cat gave us a good turtle soup. On NZD, where's it even at? Oh, here it is. What's going on? It almost hit TP. Excuse you. I don't think I'm pretty sure I didn't get in this. I think we just said that, but it looks like it's back at that gap, and it's trying to come back down because it didn't hit TP. But I would prefer to get in this one, Odd Cat, because it hasn't hit our entry yet. That Nas trade is demo. We're just trying to see if this 4-hour CRT is gonna play out or not. It's demo. We'll live trade it tomorrow during New York session. We'll be here at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Is what likely to go lower? NZD. It looks like it. It looks like it. Hold on, let's go back. See how it retested this area and this big old candle? Heck yeah. It's it's too far from my entry though. Entry would have been here for me, and I missed it somehow. So I'm just waiting on Odd Cat to let me in. Yep, I'll show you when to buy or sell tomorrow. Remember, I was only looking for the CRT play, and then this was the 4 hour CRT. That's why I didn't get in, cause what's his name? Chris was looking at this. That's why I didn't get in this. That's why I was showing this one to him, and then I didn't do the weekly because price is so far from our weekly high. You can trade the daily range and get some better pips. So we got our daily high here, and then our 50%. And then there's a gap right here underneath this low that it could possibly come to also. But then we got a gap right here at our 50% too. This is what I be talking about. You want to wait for price to come under back into the zone because it'll take these zones and then buy back up. You want to wait for price to come back into these zones. You took some profits. That's why I was waiting. Let's see. CHF because I did get in last night and we was up 30 pips. And then like around 10 o'clock, I noticed this big heavy candle here. And I was like, oh no, let's move our stop loss to entry. And then we got stopped out. So I'm like, I'm not about to play these games. I'm Hey, why TikTok said go live for 550 minutes? That's crazy. 9 hours is crazy. What am I gonna do for 9 hours? All right, Santa, can you see me? Hey guys, TikTok Studio is tripping. Studio is tripping. That's why I'm trying to get my stream way. Hey y'all, TikTok is tripping. See, I need to get this fixed. TikTok Studio is trash. But we got our intro on OddCat.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
But we got into this OddCat position. It showed us what we needed to see for our weekly CRT. Okay, it's a 2-to-1. When price gets under here, I'm gonna type my stop loss to here, and then it'll be a 9-to-1. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. We keep getting disconnected. I'm tomorrow. IO this time, but I have to get permission to be able to stream outside of TikTok Studio. And TikTok Studio is trash right now because it's new. I wonder if it's just me this is happening to. When I get off of here, I'm gonna do a speed test and we'll see. Maybe it's my network. And then I don't have any other applications running. Hey, 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 welcome back, welcome back. Thank y'all for coming back. I know y'all sick of me tonight. We're about to get off of here soon though. We was just waiting on an entry on a trade and we got our entry. We got our entry. GU, we can look at GU. Hey Shanika. All right, so Balan, I trade ICT concepts with CRT ranges. Ooh, look at that. All right. So I like to start on my higher time frames to look for my CRT zones. Ooh, look at that. Sounds about right. All right, so I'm gonna mark my weekly high because it looks like price ran that weekly high also and that monthly high. I'm gonna mark 50% of my range. I'm gonna mark the low of my range. And because it's NFP week, I'm gonna mark this gap right here. Okay, all these areas are TP areas. All right, so price ran that monthly, it ran this weekly high. Now let's walk down on the daily and see if there's any trend lines or anything that we need to mark up. I don't see anything on the daily. All right, so on this 4-hour, I see a fair value gap right here. TP1 should definitely be this fair value gap. All right, before you try to go any lower, because you don't want it to hit this gap and then bounce higher on you. I'm trying to see if it gave an entry, because if it didn't give an entry yet, I might be trying to get in this GU play too. Ah, right there. Price ran that liquidity. Oh, it didn't run this liquidity. Oh, well, I don't like that. It broke structure though. All right, so I see a balanced price range. I see a fair value gap right here, and then I see this inversion right here. I'm gonna set an alert. If price pulls back up here and shows me some rejection, I'm gonna get in too. But it looks like it's pushing on down. 14325. 1 4. With different brokers, the numbers are different, so I don't know where you enter that. Hey, this is GU. This is GU. It's a nice move though. It's definitely a nice move. I'd definitely be cautious of this gap. For your first TP area, I'd definitely be cautious of this gap. I set my alert though. If price comes back up to this area, I'm getting in. I'm gonna get in and take this sell. I'm gonna take it to the 50%. 50% of my weekly CRT. That's what I'm gonna do. But I'm not in it yet. That's nice. I'm glad you caught that. That's nice. We just got in odd cat. We just got in odd cat sales. A little 38 pips. I didn't even have GU marked up. And we're waiting on EJ to get on top of this fair value gap, and we'll take it back up to the highs. We got stopped out here. And I'm in UJ, but my first TP is here. I got two positions. My first TP is here because I don't want it to hit this gap and then sell back down on me. So my first TP is here. If it gets on top of this, then my next TP is at that high. We looked at GU earlier. How did we miss that? There goes gold. Did it come to our 4-hour? It's right at our 4-hour gap. I don't know what that line is, but it looks ugly. I just needed to keep on coming down, keep on dropping. Oh, we looked at EU for you when you asked for supply and demand. We looked at EU. GBP CAD looks like it's pushing up. It didn't come all the way down to 50%. Was there another gap? There was a little gap here. That looks ugly. You closed EU? What did you do on EU? What did you get in? You wait for an H4 break before entering a short on GU? Okay. See, for me, EU didn't give me any type of confirmations for anything. For it to be valid, it'll have to break my low or my high. And it's trading inside last week's candle. So I didn't have anything for EU. But GU definitely gave a setup. And I got my alerts set if it gives me a pullback into my area. I'm gonna pull this up to the top of the list and mark that yellow. I'll mark this green because we're in odd cat. And this is odd CHF. We're selling odd cap. And I think that's it. What's 1.1412 on EU? Is that where you entered? Did you catch a little bit of pips? The zones. Yeah, I like my zones. I'm gonna keep my zones. I like my weekly zones. If it doesn't play out, then I don't catch a trade, and I'm fine with that. That's why I mark everything up, and I take whatever's the best trade. So I got into an odd position. Odd is an Asian pair, but we'll be back for New York. We'll be back at 8 o'clock. We just got on here to do some markups and look for some possible entries, but Odd Cat gave us what we needed to see. So we got into Odd Cat, and then we was doing a demo 4 hour CRT, which is still holding, but this is demo. But we'll be back at 8 for a New York session time. And I'm going to be getting off of here in a few minutes. Yep. So this was the only thing that I'm in is this Odd Cat. And it's a 2-to-1. Once price breaks this area, then I'm going to move my stop loss down to here above that area. But I'm going to leave it here for now. How long? It's been 4 years. It'd be 5 years in August. Thanks for coming back, Casey. I don't know why TikTok Studio don't like me. I don't know why. We got kicked off twice. It was going so good, but I'm not gonna let it discourage me. We're gonna get off of here in 5 minutes. I'm ready to go to bed. It just dropped. Like, it's stupid to me. It don't like me. It's been doing this. But the crazy thing about it, literally like 2 weeks ago, I was streaming through Streamlabs. So I was able to stream on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the same time. And then TikTok decided to create TikTok Studio, and now they want to force you to use their platform. So ever since I started using their platform, I've been getting these interruptions. And I'm like, I know it's not my service because with my internet provider, we have a guest account and then we have two main accounts. Well, three main accounts really. And my boyfriend, he streams, but he's plugged in on the hard wire, and then I'm on my own um network, and then the guests have their own network, and then the kids have their own network. So I know it's not my internet. Yeah, it is bad. I guess they trying to work out the kinks. But I am in this Odd Cat sale. Price came back to this gap right here, and then it gave me some rejection. But I have my TP all the way up at the high because it could pull all the way back up here. If it does, I'm gonna do another entry here. But if we get closed up under here, then I'm gonna tighten my stop loss to this high. But for now, I'm gonna leave it here. All right, so I'll be back tomorrow 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll live trade Nas and then go through the market and see what else is going on. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all in the morning. Hopefully you wake up. You must work night shift for something. Don't say hopefully you wake up. Say hopefully you wake up in time, because I pray you wake up tomorrow. Nighty night. Sleep wise. Set your alarm. You're in Germany. Yeah, y'all got the good times. Do you trade what is it? GR30, GR30? What options? I don't do options. I do futures and forex, and I'll be trading Nas on futures tomorrow. All right, y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Okay, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. You don't have good strategy. What time it is? What time is it in Germany? I'm about to go big. I'm about to go. Oh, 5:58. Okay. Hey, if you don't like it, quit looking. Hey, we about to get off here. Try to join us tomorrow morning, okay? Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. We'll trade live, and then we'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Next week, we will start our live learning session. I'm gonna put together a small curriculum for us to do for about a month, okay? All right, 10:59. See y'all later.